DL Trader here with today's trade recap for Wednesday the 17th of April. A little bit of a slower day today, not much hitting my scanners, so I sat on my hands for a while and ended up just taking two tickers today. Traded one of them pretty actively, the other not so much. So I'll run over the trades and see what I did right, see what I did wrong. So the first trade was IPWR, lower price stock. Picked it up on the Momo scanner. Was watching this morning spike. Out the gate, it popped up, just seeing where it might top out. After it put in this top here, got short, added to the winner very quickly, and then trimmed some into the wash, and then added back on in the bounce. And then trimmed some more in the wash, added back on the bounce, and then as I was doing this, was lowering my stop just to above this line here, which triggered that blue one there. One thing that keeps happening to me is this on these, I'm playing these sort of parabolic moves, getting short, covering to the wash, adding back on the bounce, and I'm getting stopped out, with my risk being a little bit too tight, not letting it come and test that high of day. So once I see it fail to break out, I get short again for the backside for that move lower. Now in this case, what I did was I got short here, added some more. I didn't get a washout to cover any. So it was going sideways, so scaled into full size because I've got really nice defined risk just above this top. So getting these shares on, did get some off into that wash before adding back on. So taking some little profits, which reduces the risk. Added back on into this bounce before getting stopped out. Now I'm really happy with that stop because, I'm sizing in for the big move. So if it goes my way, it's a nice big winning trade. If I'm not tight with that stop and I let it take me out up here, it's going to be a big loss. So I see it holding, and as it pops, I'm covering, stopping out quickly just to keep that loss small. So really happy with that. And what that enabled me to do was get short again up here for the next move. On this one, took a small starter and then added in a higher, got a really nice top tick. And then something I find myself doing a little bit too much is covering into this wash just here a little bit too soon. Because I'm front side, I feel like, if it does go up here, I'm going to start sort of getting caught up in recycling shares, adding to loser, etc. So something I've got to work on, but anyway, trim some into the wash. Once it came lower and bounced back up, good thing I managed to do was add some more, cover into the wash, add some more on, reducing the risk as I go, and then really just working that trade. Got some really nice adds on here for this drop, pulling this risk down to this level, and then covered here. Now, the next part of this trade, I'm not sure about really. I mean, one thing I'm battling with is whether I, stop trading after this morning and leave it alone, or whether I leave some on for the all-day fade. I'm just trying to get myself into that position where I'm not cutting off my winners and I'm letting them run. So what I probably shouldn't have done is added back on here at this time of the day, leave my position on after this and come back at the screens at 2 o'clock and see what happens. So because I added on a little too soon here, we had that midday grind up and I was forced to stop out. Now, I've seen this happen to me a few times where I stop out and it ends up being the top to go lower. So I just took half off and then set my stop just above that line to see what was happening. Came back to the screens. I missed this dip. It did have this weird little pop up, but still I sort of sat with it, sat with my stop and just thought, well, I'm going to cover into any washouts just sort of to get that trade green. And that's exactly what I did here. Got a little opportunity to get out for some extra gains. So overall, really nice green trade. you know, nice stop out, probably my favorite little triangle of the day. And, you know, now this backside move, so happy with that. The other trade I took today was UXIN. Traded really funny this one today. I took a short after this big washout into the bounce, just here with wrist set sort of at high of day. Let it bounce up, let it pull back, and I just felt like it was going to grind up, so stopped out for a really, really, really small loss. I think pretty much flat, maybe a slight little green. So I was really happy with that, and then unfortunately I forgot to cancel my stop, triggered a long just up here, and you know, as it was just potentially about to break high there, just give it a couple of minutes, see what it did in case it ripped. I was going to sell into that pop, but as it didn't, it rejected. I just got out for another tiny loss. So the losses on this one today are really, really, really small, and my trade on IPWR was a really nice winner. So overall, green day, sized up again today, made a really good effort to add liquidity and take shares, take position sizes which are over 600 shares, up towards 1,000 shares on each entry, just to try and get some ECN rebates, beat these commissions. So pretty happy with progress. Hopefully there'll be a few more opportunities tomorrow, because it was a little bit slower today. Okay guys, thanks very much. Cheers.